basically I was picking up 25 free hours a week if you took out the training for swimming, and I just wanted to fill that with something else. So I just transitioned immediately. As soon as my swimming career ended, my senior year championship swim meet, I think I took a week off and I started running.
Okay, you knew. Yeah. When you were a kid and you realized that you needed the drive to win, where does that come from? Did it come from your parents?
I feel like I just always had it.
You do?
I always wanted to win.
Always wanted to win. Yeah.
Without being a jerk.
Okay. Of course.
Some people are,
Like even when you played
some people
baseball
are really
or
aggressive
soccer.
and cutthroat. And yeah, I always was practicing hard and trying to be the best at any sport I played.
Right.
And that was if people were playing ping pong, I would want to be the best at ping pong.
That's like my son. He's very,
And so
very competitive.
you just can't teach that.
Right. But if you've got a kid, and there's a lot of parents that'll watch this and think of their own kids, and they have they've got that, what you're talking about, whatever that is.
The drive.
The drive to succeed, to win. How do you cultivate that?
I think it varies.
Yeah.
I think sometimes you can see maybe a kid wants to be better but is a little bit afraid of failure. So positive encouragement, just encouraging but not pushing, because no one likes to be pushed. And my parents were good, and they'd break their backs to help me, get to where I wanted to be. They'd take me off island to swim camps or whatever.
They
always find me the coaching,
always.
But they wouldn't push me like, no, you're going to this camp. We already signed you up, and that's it. You're going to this camp. Everything that I did, I wanted to do, and they would help me get there. So, and I mean, with like a younger kid, you have to push your kids a little bit, but you almost have to trick them into realizing that they want it. But it can't be forced.
Got it.
And there's guys who are forced, and I swam with all those guys in college. Those were the guys who were who couldn't wait to be done, or those were the guys who quit after their sophomore year because it was just too much, and they hated swimming. They hated it for years, and now their parents weren't there, and they just quit.
What about nutrition? I mean, is that 50% of it, or no?
I don't think it's 50%.
No.
It's important.
Right.
I think it's one of the things that would say, I can't get given a percentage, but I think if you have two people who are equal and they train just as hard and they have the same, let's say if you could just look into the future and know each of their optimal potential, the guy with better nutrition is going to perform better.
But
it's one of those things that will give you that the 1% edge.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of those back there.
Okay, I'll just turn around here.
So at my level, a lot of it becomes stacking up those 1% advantages or those 0.5% advantages, and it's doing the stretching, doing proper nutrition, getting sleep, making sure you're rested, and then even smaller things, making sure your bike is tuned up.
Right.
There's so many things. Changing out your running shoes. You have to replace them every so many miles to keep your feet healthier. There's so many little things, and you just kind of have to learn how to micromanage those things. That's at the high levels. This one here.
It's this one, yeah. Wow.
So there's so much. There's so much to the sport. But starting out,
if you were doing anything other than playing Major League Baseball or this, what would it do? What would it be?
I have no idea.
See? Okay, that's good. I was hoping you were going to say that, because you're loving what you're doing.
Oh.
And you love the challenge.
Oh yeah.
You're right. You love to meet. You want to hit that. You want to hit that goal.
Yeah. No,
right?
There's nothing else I would rather be doing right now. I'm okay being poor right now.
Yeah. You really are poor.
I'm living the dream.
What about sponsorship? Are you allowed to do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a work in progress.
Why can't we get you a few of these, big Nantucket sponsors? Would you like that?
I would love that.
Okay, well, they're going to be watching, so who knows? Maybe they'll give you a call.
I gotta say, a big thank you to the Nantucket Westmore Club, which is where I work.
Yeah.
Because they've been really supportive.
Good.
So they've helped me with.
What does it cost?
Furthering my career.
What does it cost to do a triathlon? Roughly. I mean, you got to stay there. You got to enter.
You got hotel, entry fees,
everything.
Entry fees can be $50 to $175.
Okay.
And then travel,
Yeah, travel. Right.
Plane, and then bringing the bike on the plane.
Yep.
That can be $200
now
each way.
What about
sometimes the bike ticket is more expensive than the person ticket?
Oh yeah, no. We were just talking about that in the previous interview. So what about Europe and all those other guys that are competing? Where's your strongest competition right now? Is it in the States or in other countries?
For me, it's in the U.S. and Canada, because that's the only guys I really see. I see some, South Americans now and then, but really, I'm racing here until I improve and move up to the next tier.
Where are you as far as the tier goes? I mean, how high?
I guess there's basically like 3 tiers of racing. There's the Continental Cups, World Cups, and then World Triathlon. So yeah, both worlds, but World Triathlon is the highest level series of racing. And then
that's where you're at.
I'm at the Continental Cup.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
So those are the professional races, and anyone can do. Guys who do World Triathlons can go back down and race Continental Cups. It's sort of as each country can send like a certain amount of people to a World Cup or to a World Triathlon. So that's how it. They'll ask the top guys if they want to go, and it kind of rolls down, and it'll just roll down by like point rankings.
So in 4 years you'll be 29, right? You're 25.
Yep.
That's a good age to be in the Olympics. Where's that going to be?
Tokyo.
What do? You say, okay, Tokyo, here I come? Is that what you say? I mean, how do you do that? We want to see you there.
And I'd love to be there, but I'm more focused on the process than the end goal, than the end result. I mean, right now, I'm looking to take 5 seconds off my mile pace on my run.
Okay. Got it.
And that's not nearly enough. 5 seconds?
That's all you're trying to do, huh?
Just 5 seconds per mile. What can I do to get 5 seconds off my mile pace? And then I'll get 5 more.
Is it? And having a trainer has been very helpful in that, putting
Absolutely.
that into a category where you can actually meet those, right?
Yeah, so I've got like a training program, and it's not like laid out for the next 6 months. It's sometimes I don't even know what I'm doing. I know roughly what I'm doing the next day, but it always changes slightly based on my feedback. Oh, coach, I'm tired. I had a really terrible run today. I know I'm supposed to hit the track tomorrow, but can we back off? Or instead of running 800s, can we run 400s? So it's always changing based off of me.
I see.
And I work with the coach on that.
I see. Does he cost you money too?
He cost me money too.
Yeah, I think so. All right, well...
it all costs money.
I had one question that a buddy of mine who runs locally wanted me to ask you. The transition between swimming to bicycle to run, how do you do that? How do you make that transition happen in a way that keeps your time tight? Are you imagining it before? I mean,
you practice it.
You practice it.
You practice it.
Yeah.
But I guess
it important?
It's huge,
It
especially in the professional races.
Yeah.
Where you're allowed to draft. It's really, really important to be in a group of people. So you have to. It's like you're racing each other, but you're working together to either break away from another group, close the gap on a group ahead of you. And also then there's all sorts of strategies in there, like, can I just kind of sit in the back and draft and not put in any work and save myself for the run? Or am I a strong enough biker where I know I'm stronger than these guys and I can really push the pace, make them hurt, and then beat them on the run that way? So there's all sorts of strategies involved, but really, if you're not in the group, it doesn't matter. So you've got to be really good at taking off your wetsuit. You have to sort of sprint out of the water into the transition. That's a huge part of the race.
It is.
So like the end of the swim, the run to the transition itself, and then the beginning of the bike, your heart rate is just going insane, just crazy high.
Right.
Because that's really where you'll make a break. Once everyone's on the bike, you'll kind of settle into a pace, settle into a rotation. You know, who's in front, who's moving up, stuff like that. And then same thing at the end of the bike. It'll be clumped up, and then by the end, people will start trying to maybe break away a little bit. It'll start spacing out, and people are fighting for position going into the run. If there's a big group of guys, the guy who gets off the bike first, it can be 20 seconds to the back of the same bike group.
Wow.
So you could have gotten out of the water first, been the first guy on the bike, but if you mess it up at the end,
sure,
you can be 20 seconds behind. And everyone biked with you for the whole, 40K or whatever.
Jeez.
But now you're 20 seconds back because you messed up.
You got to work on that all the time.
Yeah. And really, I mean, that part of it is from experience.
Right.
My first race, I made some mistakes that I won't make again. And I prepared as best I could going into that race. I knew, on paper, I knew what to do, what to expect, and then when I was there, it was a whole nother game.
Oh my god!
But I haven't made any of the same mistakes twice.
Final question: drugs.
For
do you
me,
get
or?
no?
Oh, they drug test. Yeah.
They do drug test. And you heard about what happened in Russia within the last few days. They
I haven't heard.
Oh God, they want to kick the entire Russian team out of the Olympics, basically.
Then they probably should.
And they have evidence of it. It is astonishing what they found they were doing. Are there guys still out there trying to beat the system? And
I think there's always going to be guys out there trying to beat the system.
Yeah,
that's just how it is. That's any sport.
Yep.
And that's you get
and they'll cheat and they'll try to find.
It's a personality thing. When you get to the top of anything, it could be the top of the your business. It gets cutthroat to move up to be promoted to the CEO or whatever. It's the same thing in sports. Guys want to move up. They want to be the best. There's always attitude that goes along with it. I don't know. I guess I try to stay pretty modest and humble. You have to remember, where you came from. But a lot of people forget, and they have these huge egos, and they have to keep pumping it up and always be the best. So they'll do whatever it takes. And if that means performance enhancers, then that's what they're going to try and do.
But do you think the drug testing is effective that they're doing?
I think unless they are testing every athlete after every race, then no.
Right.
Because there could be a guy who, comes in 25th.
Why don't they test
but
after
maybe
every race? Then?
They'll test, winners.
Why don't they do it after every race? It's too expensive?
It's a money thing.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? So it's random. You don't even know if it's going to happen after a race?
No, I think it always happens after a race, but not for everyone.
Oh, I see.
So if I, were a 40-place finisher, I could move myself up to 10th, I think, and still get away with it by just,
wow,
taking performance enhancers, because they're not testing the 10th place guy.
Right.
As far as I think they always say, and I haven't been randomly chosen, so I don't know about the random.
You have not been randomly chosen. Interesting.
No.
You can't look at somebody and say, okay, that guy, because obviously you gain weight when you take them.
I don't know. I think it depends.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah, like Lance Armstrong.
Exactly. He wasn't. Exactly. That's true.
He wasn't, huge and muscular, but he wasn't getting tired.
Can you believe that guy? What an unbelievable liar to do what he did for that.
But there's a lot of people who lie. All the baseball guys, you see all the time. There's so many guys.
You got it. Baseball is notorious. Anyway, good to meet you, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
You bet. Your dad is a good buddy of mine, and I really like him, and I know why. You're a good kid.
Thanks.
All right. Have a good one, Bob.
All right, you too.
Yeah.